Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Amy Roloff and Matt Roloff welcomed 4 kids ahead of their 2016 split and are now proud grandparents. The TLC personalities wed in September 1987, and their twin sons, Jeremy and Zach, arrived 3 years later. Their daughter, Molly, arrived in 1993, followed by son Jacob in 1997. Amy and Matt began their television career in 2006, the TLC series Little People, Big World, which followed their family's life. Jacob chose to leave the show in 2014, and 4 years later, his brother Jeremy and wife, Audrey Roloff, exited the series as well. The couple, who wed in September 2014, exclusively told Us Weekly in January 2021 that they are done with reality TV. "We are so thankful for the opportunity that the family show gave us, but being able to harness that energy and do what we're doing now gives us so much more life purpose and passion," Audrey and Jeremy explained at the time. "Going back to reality TV kind of feels like a step into history at this point." Lawrence, Can. Staff at a Lawrence, Kansas daycare center mistakenly left a child alone in a van, while the rest of their class went on a field trip last Friday. Field trips for Hilltop Child Development Center are now on hold after the incident. Hilltop is a private, nonprofit daycare center affiliated with Q. Human remains found in 1973 identified as missing Kansas City, Kansas teen. Hilltop staff left the child in a locked van for an extended period of time, according to Q Director of News and Media Relations Aaron Barcombe-Peterson. FLX4 asked exactly how long the child was left in the vehicle, how old the child was, and how many children were in the class. Barcombe-Peterson has not responded. She said a Hilltop teacher later found the child alone, locked in the van, also noting that the child was upset but unharmed. Hilltop notified the child's parents immediately and alerted other daycare families. "I don't understand how anybody can ever forget about a kid," John Failer said. "His child doesn't go to Hilltop. They live outside of town and frequent Lawrence." Fowler believes situations like this are avoidable. "How do you get hired for a job to watch kids, and you forget them? I understand you've got a lot going on. So does everybody else," Failer said. "We just came back from a field trip, and there were several people that counted as the kids came off the bus, counted as they came out." Hilltop is licensed by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment and accredited by the National Association for Education of Young Children, according to the daycare center's website. Staff reported the incident to both agencies. Appropriate corrective action will be taken, Q administration told FOX4. All field trips have been suspended while Hilltop reviews the specifics of this incident, the center's procedures, and its policies. Copyright 2025 Nexstar Media, Incorporated, all rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten, or redistributed. Dax Taylor is opening up about his son Cruz's autism diagnosis. "We've known for a while," Taylor, 45, told Extra on Wednesday, April 9. "Brittany and I have been going back and forth on how we wanted to tell everybody. My little boy is amazing. He's still beautiful. He's so delicious. He's such a smart individual, you know, but he's obviously got some issues with autism." Earlier Wednesday, Taylor's estranged wife, Brittany Cartwright, announced in an interview with People that their 3-year-old son had been diagnosed 6 months prior by his developmental pediatrician. "I want to be affiliated with autism for the rest of my life," Taylor said following the announcement. "I want to be in charities. I want to be whatever I can do to spread awareness to help financially, physically, mental. I want to be a part of it all. I feel like this is a sign from somebody that I need to be a part of this world, and I want to help out other parents. I want to meet other parents." The Bravo star added, "When you see other kids progressing a little bit further than your son, and you're like, why aren't they understanding? It can be a little frustrating, but I know he'll get there. He's just taking a little longer." Cartwright, 36, told People that Cruz is mostly nonverbal, but will sporadically say different words. She said, "It's difficult because I've never heard him say, 'I love you.' But he is so loving. and he shows me he loves me every single day. He is such a mommy's boy. This is the time he's building his brain, she noted. I'm just trying to do everything I possibly can to help him live the happiest life ever. I feel very blessed that I'm able to give him everything that he needs, and that's why I want to help as many mothers as I can. I have learned so much over the past couple years. Speaking with Extra, Taylor, who revealed last month that he's recovering from cocaine addiction, shared that Cruz is my sole force, my driving force to being here today. That little boy is my angel. I love him more than anything in the world. Taylor made his Bravo debut on Vanderpump Rules in 2013. His ups and downs, including his marriage to Cartwright, featured on the show until his 2020 departure. In 2024, he and Cartwright appeared on the first season of the Vanderpump spin-off The Valley. After the season wrapped, he checked himself into a treatment center in July 2024. He revealed that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder before later confirming his substance abuse issues. I grew up like a lot of guys, we don't talk about our feelings, Taylor exclusively told Us Weekly last month. I'm going to break that cycle. I want my son to talk about whatever he wants to talk about. Let's be open. It's ok not to be ok. I just couldn't take the weight anymore. The pressure. I don't want my son to feel like that. I want him to be open and honest. I will never judge him at all. I'll be his biggest cheerleader, he added. Everything I do is for Cruz. He's the reason I went to rehab. I want to be here for him the rest of my life. I want him to go. My dad had a problem. He confronted it. He was open about it. If he can be proud of me for that, that would be amazing. Maximo Peda had been coming to the Jet Set nightclub every single Monday for the past 30 years. This week, excited to see a concert by the popular Dominican singer Ruby Perez, he took his wife and his sister. Now all three are buried beneath the rubble of the collapsed discotheque, after the roof caved in partway through the performance, leaving at least 184 dead. I haven't heard any news about any of them, said Shailene Pena, Maximo's 17-year-old daughter, as she sat on a wall outside the devastated venue. It was just another Monday night for them. In fact, my dad invited my mom to come too, but at the last minute she decided not to go. It was a blessing in disguise. Behind her as she spoke to me on Wednesday afternoon, a team of rescue workers was meticulously going through the rubble inside the building, listening for the slightest sound of a survivor beneath them. They had been joined by Israeli and Mexican search teams and were using sophisticated heat-seeking equipment to try to locate anyone still alive. Shailene told me her cousin was one of the rescue workers, sifting through the debris for her own uncle, which she said brought her peace of mind that a relative was inside doing everything in her power to try to track Maximo down. But the uncertainty and the endless wait for information were becoming unbearable, Shailene said. I feel the urge to just go in there and push aside all the rocks and pull them out. But as much as I want to, I really can't. I just have to sit here and wait it out. Hours later, the government released a statement saying that all reasonable chances of finding more survivors have been exhausted, and so the search and rescue mission would give way to the recovery of bodies. The authorities have been doing what they can to keep the public informed, delivering grim updates on the number of dead, which has risen steadily with every passing hour. At regular intervals, teams have been emerging from the site carrying bodies covered by blankets on stretchers. Earlier on, some people were brought out alive, bolstering the hopes of the relatives. But by Wednesday evening, officials said that given the conditions at the site observed by the more than 300 rescue workers, they would conclude the rescue phase of their operations within hours. The president of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, has declared 3 days of national mourning, a reflection of the scale of the tragedy unfolding at the site. Among those confirmed to have lost their lives in the accident were some well-known national figures, including Perez himself, 2 much-loved former baseball players, Octavio Dotel and Tony Blanco, and a regional governor. And alongside them, scores of merengue music lovers and Perez fans also died in the collapse. For now, the authorities' focus remains on the recovery operation. However, eventually the questions will turn to the cause of the collapse, and government investigators will have to provide meaningful answers to the families in due course. One theory is already circulating outside the venue. Many are pointing the finger of blame at a fire at the nightclub around 2 years ago. Some fear the blaze structurally weakened the site, or that any repairs carried out were insufficient or not up to code.